Hello everybody and welcome back to Movie Review 30, and this time we'll be doing a countdown list of the top 20 movies of 2023.
Yeah,
because we saw a lot.
Yeah, I mean, god damn, there's been so many movies of last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had movies that we saw that we loved and ones that we'll get to in a bit, but
yep.
I mean, there are several films that we didn't see and on the list, like that we didn't see Nimona, that Adam Sandler film Leo, and the film he told me about, Iron Claw. So sorry guys.
That's right.
I mean, those will be sort of like honorable mentions.
Well, they'll be late editions, so we have to see them first.
And also, one thing, Aquaman 2 is not on this list.
Yeah, after a certain film and several other things, you'll see why.
Yeah, so let's not waste any time. This is our top 20 movies of 2023. Let's begin with the lowest of low, number 20.
The Flash. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. I chose not to see this, mostly due to apparently Ezra Miller grooming an indigenous child. And then after the movie was released, Dean and I saw it for free.
Yeah, well,
it was one of the worst film experiences I have ever had in my entire life. This film was so goddamn atrocious.
So they had bad writing.
Oh, it had everything. Bad writing, bad story, bad acting, bad characters, bad effects. There's nothing good, just bad, bad, bad.
And the CGI was terrible. That didn't make it better.
It looked like an AI made it.
It's like what you said in our rant review.
Yeah, this film was so Ugh.
Yeah, and Ezra Miller should be ashamed for ruining...
Oh, no. He should have fucking quit. No, they should have quit.
And
I hated this movie. Hated this film. I hated every audience insulting moment of it.
You're too fucking nice.
Yes. I don't even know who in the right mind would see this movie. I don't give okay, no disrespect to Jack, but I really do not give a fuck if Keaton is in this. It's junk. Pure, unadulterated junk.
You know what's sad? This film was written by the same woman who written good stuff like Birds of Prey and Bumblebee. Come on, you could do better than this. And this was directed by the same guy who directed the It duology! What the fuck?
Oh no, we're not gonna blame them. We're blaming the fucking studio.
Oh.
Yeah, the fucking studio. This has more of studio interference than, dare I say it, fan-fucking-forstick.
Damn!
Yeah, that's right. I fucking went there!
Okay,
fuck this movie.
And like you said, Michael Shannon hated this film, and unfortunately, the DC Extended Universe is dead.
Yeah, this film is so bad that the next Aquaman movie is dead on arrival. It was that terrible. Dean was originally going to see it, but because of this film, he chose against it. You know you fucked up when your movie not only killed the universe, but it also marked their inevitable doom. Ugh.
So you done fucked it up.
Oh.
So yeah, we didn't see Aquaman.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, get this film a fucking skip.
Yeah, I feel like Steven Universe deserves better love than
Yeah,
this.
You know what? At least with Steven Universe, my only gripes is with the fandom and not the medium. The Flash has no fan base, and it's just a pure, utter mess in every sense of the word. Ugh.
Okay, so yeah, fuck the Flash and
yeah, fuck it.
So we're done.
Yeah, just continue.
Okay.
And here's to one that is not the best, not the worst, but it's alright.
And at least they tried. So number 19 is Shazam,
Fury of the Gods.
The Gods. So
It has some of the charm that the first one had, but that's really all we can say.
yeah, I mean, with this, at least they try. I mean, we didn't anger us when we saw it in theaters, but there were things that we liked about it.
Yeah.
And heck, its climax, they took a jeep. If you saw his season 2 finale, you probably know what we're talking about. The dragon villain taking control, army of monsters.
Well, the monsters have to be giant. There has to be a giant robot and a giant lizard on the side of the good guys. But it's kind of is that. So I can kind of laugh at that.
So, and it's a shame this film didn't do great, but I would say Zachary Levi. Am I saying that?
Zachary Levi.
Was still a good Shazam.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't love it quite as much as the first, but like,
yeah.
Anything else to write home about?
Not really.
So again, it's good, but it's not our favorite superhero film of the deceased universe.
Yeah, that's really up to you on this one.
Yeah. So moving on. So number 18 is another film that. Number 18 is Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania.
Oh, this was better than the previous two. It wasn't meant to be taken too seriously. It was meant to be kind of fun.
Yes, and I mean, again, it's not our favorite film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we actually kind of liked it for what it is. I mean,
it's not like a full-fledged meal. It's more of a piece of candy. It's a good piece of candy.
Yes, and I still like I actually like the chemistry between Ant-Man and his daughter in the film.
Oh yeah.
Because that was kind of the highlight of the film, and I think Kang was a good villain.
Oh yeah.
But it's a shame we may not see more of the actor over something I'm not going to get into.
Yeah. Well, moving on.
But I did like that post-credit scene that leads up to season 2 of Loki.
Yeah. Which we saw, which was pretty good, but that's beside the point.
So yeah, it's a good, decent film. To watch this if you wish.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, okay, again, moving on. Next one is a dinosaur movie starring Kylo Ren.
That would be 65.
And I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun too.
I mean, this is pretty much like a darker version of Planet of Dinosaurs, if some of you may remember that movie or not.
It does take some twists and turns here and there, and that's what I kind of like about it.
And so yeah, it kind of follows sort of the same premise, but it did have some time travel elements, and I kind of like the protagonist.
Yeah.
And it was more about trying to survive than rather fighting the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the dinosaurs too.
Yeah.
Even though
even though you can barely see them.
Yeah.
But I mean, more in the vein of A Quiet Place. It could have been better, but it wasn't poorly executed here.
I mean, it's no Quiet Place because those films were more.
Yeah, they were more terrifying.
Yeah, and sometimes like you said, the dinosaurs were a little hard to see because they were shot a bit too.
Yeah, it was shot in the dark.
I mean, it's not as bad as like in Fan4stick or AVPR. And no, I'm not going to go over the 2014 Godzilla because that was meant to be shot.
Yeah.
Because I'm on a
yeah, I'll be defending that film too because you forgot that there was some good cinematography in that. Moving off topic, on to 65.
Yeah, so. And there was some dinosaurs I didn't recognize that after the T-Rex was killed. I mean, what were those things?
I have no idea.
Yeah, again, we just couldn't get a good look what.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to remember what the dinosaurs looked like. I mean, which dinosaur did you remember?
Well, there was the Tyrannosaurus, there were the raptors, there were those lizard things, but I can't remember what they are exactly. But I mean, I think the paleo community even complained that they weren't scientifically accurate. And sometimes they do look a bit off, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a good science fiction film, but I would say at least it's better than that crappy stock footage from Raptor
Yeah.
with Eric Roberts.
No disrespect towards Eric Roberts intended.
Yeah. Or any of those shitty Asylum films with dinosaurs.
I paid the price by seeing one, so that's on me.
So yeah, so after that, moving on to like another superhero film, The Marvels.
Okay, this was way too fun. It was borderline silly, and it takes pride in that.
Yeah, and yeah, I actually thought it was a good film, and it's a shame this one didn't do great at the box office because I honestly thought it was actually good. I mean, if some of you didn't like it,
More power to you.
but for us,
I thought it was fun.
yeah, and I just like the chemistry between our three Marvels: Captain Marvel, Monica, and
Carol Danvers.
I did say
Kamala
Carol.
Khan.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. He wasn't paying attention.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when they accidentally transported into different
Yeah.
places, Miss Marvel was like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!"
And some of those, there are some scenes in that film that were a work of art.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that since the Quicksilver era.
Yeah,
If you know, you know.
the cats, right?
Spoilers.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, is that?
Fair enough.
I mean, I meant to say flirking. Sorry.
Yeah, never mind. Let's continue.
And also the fight choreography was actually done pretty well, and I love its chemistry with its three protagonists, and the climax with facing off the villain.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this was a good film, but we really love the secret ending bit, which we won't say what it is, but
Yeah.
because when we saw that secret ending, he went a little.
I went nuts.
Yeah, and so yeah, I still think this was a good film. I can't wait to see where the rest of the Marvel franchise is going. And
Yeah.
okay, now moving on to a very silly.
Cocaine Bear.
Oh my god, this movie was downright ridiculous, but fuck it. It's Cocaine Bear. I mean,
This film was hilarious in every step of the word, sense of the word.
and yeah, it's actually I think this was more fun to watch than those Grizzly movies. Because Grizzlies kind of rip off Jaws. This one was loosely based on a
True story, and it kind of pokes fun at it. It's like one of those insane moments in history that seem too insane to be true, but it still happened.
Yeah, and the bear, that animal just was going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs for all that cocaine, and
Yeah.
is freaking high.
Oh yeah.
And the characters were downright stupid, but they were kind of fun, stupid characters.
You can never go wrong with fun, stupid.
Yeah.
I need to see that movie again. By God, I love that film so much.
Yeah, I saw that film like 2 times in theaters. I think the first time was with myself, and second time with this gentleman here.
Oh yeah. And that was around the time that I had a bit of a financial struggle, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, so I would say this is sort of like Tremors levels of fun.
Yeah.
Where Tremors had good writing, this one was like dumb fun writing.
Oh man.
And it's like, and the kid's like, don't worry, the bears can't climb up trees. Of course they can, kid. Yeah, and also, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this was a really ridiculously fun film. I mean, it's up there with like dumb fun films like Mars Attacks and.
You gotta love films that don't take themselves seriously. They have some plot in them, but it's mostly just dumb fun.
Yeah, and like some of like the earlier Godzilla films, like Godzilla vs. Megalon, is
Yeah.
another example.
Oh yeah.
But speaking of Godzilla, which we'll get to in a bit. So, okay, number 14 is a video game adaptation. Five Nights at Freddy's.
This was actually pretty good for what it was.
Yeah, so the story is that it centers on
On the protagonist, Mike Schmidt, looking after his sister, and he has to find a job, and that was at the pizzeria. Has a pizzeria simply dubbed Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
And something's and has these creepy animatronics, but something's off with these animatronics.
Yeah.
As anyone who are fans of the games, you know what we're talking about because.
Yeah.
And here, he's too afraid to play the games.
I fucking hate jump scares. I fucking hate them. Fuck!
I'm so sorry. I couldn't resist. I am so sorry, man.
Alright. Okay.
And so now we should go over what things that we liked about it.
Well, I do like this. That they focused on the lore and there were some, and they were subtle about the jump scares. They weren't like that Nightmare on Elm Street remake where it's like every 5 minutes. Bah!
Oh, okay, that was.
Bah!
I guess that was payback. Yeah, have you heard stuff about that Nightmare on Elm Street remake?
Yeah, I think I remember. Bah!
And also, Matthew Lillard was really good in this.
Oh yeah,
And
we always love Matthew Lillard.
I mean, he likes being in scary films. I mean, we love him in Scream, and
Yeah.
say what you want about the Scooby-Doo films, he was sort of the highlight in those movies. And also the animatronics actually looked like the game counterparts. Like, like there was hardly any CGI in this.
Oh yeah, this was done with Jim Henson, with Jim Henson's special effects company. You can never go wrong with Jim Henson.
Oh yeah, especially his former team.
Yeah. One thing I can say about high school, at least it gave me an appreciation for Jim Henson stuff.
Yeah, and also here's a little story. When we saw this film in the theaters, we had an obnoxious audience that just wouldn't shut the hell up because we're trying to see a movie, and they just clap on random stuff for no reason. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I found that annoying.
And
It didn't ruin the cinematic experience. So.
yeah, I mean, this happened to us one time when we went to see Thor Ragnarok.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're here to see a film, not to cause all the noise.
Yeah.
And also, the star in this is Josh Hutcherson, who I know him when he was a child actor in two films, Bridge to Terabithia.
Bridge to Terabithia, Zathura, Kicking and Screaming, Journey to the Center of the Earth with Brendan Fraser. And I think that's all I know him from. He was also in Hunger Games, where at least he still managed to make other stuff like Future Man. He was in The Disaster Artist as the guy who played Denny, who, funny enough, in real life, and during the making, he was in his 20s, mind you. He was in his 20s. Okay, aside from that.
And
he got on to do some better stuff, whereas his co-star, Jennifer Lawrence...
yeah,
okay, we're done.
Yeah,
we're done.
Yeah. And he was in a Robin Williams movie called RV.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, good thing I brought it up. And, oh yeah, so we don't have anything else to say about Five Nights at Freddy's. It was a good film. If you're a fan of the games, go check this movie out. And, number 13.
The Last Voyage of the Dawn Treader. No. Of the Demetrier.
Okay, let's try it.
Oh my god, I almost referenced Narnia.
Okay, let's try it again. The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
This was actually a part of the,
Dracula story by Bram Stoker.
Yep. It's self-explanatory. It's a passable horror movie. I mean, it's not like bad. It's pretty good. And there were some stuff that they did was pretty ballsy.
Yeah. Okay. Spoiler alert. They killed a freaking kid who was a vampire and then burned.
Yeah, but still, you don't see that a lot in films.
I mean, it's mostly on pet animals, but a child. Holy crap!
Oh
That when I saw that, I was a little traumatized.
I was shocked that they went there. They had the nuts to do that.
I mean, most horror films, the kids live, but...
Oh no, we ain't pulling that shit here, boy.
Yeah, so I still think this was also a good film. I mean, it's not as groundbreaking as, like, other vampire films. But
yeah. But still, it was a pretty good movie.
And also, I kind of like Dracula's design. I mean, his design reminded me of the Nosferatu design, and
Yeah.
I do like its build up. The film is sort of like Alien, but on a ship,
Yeah.
not in space or the future.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, nothing else to say about it. So still think it's a good horror film, but there's like one certain vampire film that we plan on seeing in the future, but which is a
Nosferatu.
remake by the same director.
Or, as SpongeBob will put it, say with me,
Nosferatu!
Nosferatu!
Which is being directed by the same guy who also did The Witch.
Oh, yeah.
So
Also one of my favorite horror films.
yeah, that's one film we plan on seeing. But that's aside the point. Enough about Last Voyage of the Demeter. Moving on to another superhero film, and this is where it starts to get good.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
How?
Oh, yeah. And we all kind of knew this was going to be a two-parter, but holy hell.
Yeah, and I gotta say this was a really damn good film. I mean, if you loved the first one, get this one to watch. It has a good story, good characters, gorgeous animations, and also 2099.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was terrifying in that.
Well, he's not really the
The villain, you could still sense him.
yeah. I mean, he has serious issues going on in the film, which we can't spoil.
Yeah.
And also, it's good to see our favorite characters again. It's good to see Miles, Gwen, and Peter H. Parker.
Yeah.
And also, sadly, Penny gets a cameo in this, but
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I hope we see more of her in the next one. And also, and you're wondering, why isn't this film higher? Well, because the film ended on a goddamn cliffhanger.
Well, it was a two-parter. We kind of knew that.
Do you have anything else to say about the movie?
No.
Wait, are you sure? Because everyone mostly is talking about it.
I don't have much to talk about, really, so,
But will you still be open for the next one?
Oh, yeah, we're out for the next one.
So, and also, I did like that villain, The Spot,
Yeah.
who is the actual bad guy of the film. And things are about to get intense for the next one because I feel like shit's about to go down, and we're still waiting to know when the next one coming out. And okay, enough about Spider-Man. On to another fun horror film. Number 11, Thanksgiving. My God,
This film is basically the perfect hybrid of parody horror and horror. And love letter horror. Just
so it's
put
pretty
it
much
into a nice sandwich.
it's pretty much Halloween meets Scream.
Yeah, it's basically that.
And the director must have had so much fun making this movie.
Yeah, what I love about the film, there is some scary stuff, but it doesn't take itself. But it knows it's being silly, so it just goes all the way.
And also, I really love the killer, like the John Carver killer, right?
Yep.
And also that Black Friday scene. Holy shit! Like that was one way to open up your movie set on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And like the kills were intense. It has good creepy stuff in it. Like, and also
There are some pretty good jump scares.
and also that Thanksgiving feast that was presented by the killer. Oh God! I mean, we can't go into it because we don't want to get our video to get flagged. But
Yeah.
if you know that scene,
Yeah.
and also it has like a bit of revenge plot with its killer,
Yeah.
and he kind of has a reason for it, but his actions,
Are not justified.
yeah, even your character indie fan wouldn't be a fan of that.
Any fan would have absolutely been repulsed by him.
Yeah, and I mean, what was your favorite kill in Thanksgiving?
Well, I don't know. I like a lot of them. Some of them were brutal. Some of them were just, and some of them were just downright terrifying.
Well, my favorite kill would be where, okay, it was shown in the trailer where the killer chops the mascot's head off.
Yeah. Well, I guess the mascot didn't really get ahead in life.
Who is dressed as a turkey, so I guess I get it. It's like,
yeah.
It's like that scene in the Willy Wonka film where it shows a chicken get his head cut off. It's like, ah, no, I am gonna be sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, this would probably be our favorite slasher film. I hope there'll be like a horror film set on Easter.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think that's about what we can say about Thanksgiving. Let's go on to another horror film that
Saw X.
Or Saw 10.
It's Saw X, I checked.
And
Dean showed me the first two Saw movies, and
in preparations for this one.
yeah, those movies were brutal.
So yeah, let's go with the story about this one. That it's actually centers on Jigsaw, who pretty much got scammed. Who think they could cure him, but
yeah, it didn't go so well, and they get their righteous punishment.
Yeah, and also like Jigsaw takes the whole show like this is his movie, not the people he
Oh yeah.
the scammers he kidnapped. Especially the lead scammer, the woman.
Yeah.
So let's go with Jigsaw in this movie. Like that you feel bad for him, that what he's going through, that he's a dying man, and he berates all the scammers for
his disgusting shit. But like you said, he kind of sticks by his code somewhat. Funny enough, I kind of want to see him interact with John Carver. It's kind of the same way that where he calls out a copycat.
Yeah. Yeah, where Jigsaw does not kill is where his victims find a way to kill themselves. And
yeah.
now imagine a crossover between Saw and Thanksgiving.
I'd see that.
Yeah. Jigsaw versus Con Harver.
Yeah.
Rated R. So, and also the death scenes were damn. I mean, I can't go over the death scenes because fuck me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, wow. So, anything else to say about Saw X?
Go see it.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the earlier movies, and it's also nice seeing that dummy again.
Yeah.
Live or die.
The choice is yours.
I want to play a game. Okay, I think that's all we gotta say about some scary movies. Now let's go on to a more fun film starring heroes in a half shell. Number 9.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem.
Oh my god, if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, please see this movie. It's really good, and it puts the Michael Bay movies to shame.
Yeah, the animation's great. The characters are really good. So is the acting. A lot of things about this film is just downright amazing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I saw trailers, I really wanted to see it, and I also really liked the villain Superfly, who was voiced by Ice Cube.
Yeah, the funny thing is, it doesn't have Shredder for the first villain, and I like that about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, some other Turtles didn't have Shredder, but sometimes you gotta give the Shredder a break.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit of a reference, which we won't get into, but
yeah.
Also Jackie Chan as Splinter.
Yeah.
Great casting choice, because back then, when we were teenagers, I told Brooke, hey, how would it be like if Jackie Chan played Splinter?
And now here we are.
Yeah, I can't believe I just called it.
Yeah.
And also the Turtles were actually voiced by actual teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good choice.
Yeah. And also Donatello getting the side stuck on his leg, and he like, ah! oh god, oh no!
Jeez.
I bet that stung.
A pointy object like just stabbed into your leg will hurt like shit.
Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, moving on to a DreamWorks film. Number 8.
Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. This film was actually pretty good for what it was. Although there could be more, but it's not the worst.
And yeah, I actually like the movie for what it is. I mean,
you can't go wrong with a good kaiju flick.
oh yeah, we consider it to be a kaiju film.
Yeah, you're gonna look at us and you're gonna tell us we're wrong.
And also, Ruby Gillman was actually a really endearing character, and I liked her grandmother, and the rest of her family, and also, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like the mermaids as having them as the villains of the movie, and
Yeah.
and what's your take on about switching the roles of krakens and mermaids?
That was an interesting idea.
And also, I know there isn't a lot of action in it, but it's
Yeah.
still a lot of fun, and just give this one a watch and just give it another chance.
All right. So on to the next one.
Yeah. Number 7 is Blue Beetle.
This is the start of the new universe, and let me tell you, this one is a lot of fun. The characters were endearing. The great message on American imperialism. This is all around an outstanding film.
And it puts the flush to shame.
Oh yeah.
So, but also the film bombed. I mean, what the heck? The movie was awesome.
I think we know who to blame.
Who?
3 guesses.
Ezra Miller?
Yes.
The studio?
Yes.
I don't know where the other one is.
Come on, guess.
Ezra Miller.
You already said that one.
I don't know.
The Flush.
Oh, the flat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough to leave a bad taste in people's mouths.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like its story, and Blue Beetle was a very endearing protagonist, and I liked his family.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like watching the Guyver on the big screen.
Oh yeah. You can never go wrong with a good tokusatsu.
Yeah, and also tries to set up plans for like another film, and some of the internet reviews that we know actually love the film too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I still think this was a really good movie. I mean, if you are a fan of the Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes runs, please give this one another chance.
Alright. And now let's go on to one of my favorite movies of last year.
Number 6,
Transformers Rise of the Beast. Oh my god. This film was just a fun thrill ride. And dare I say it, and as an asexual, better than sex.
You've said that so many times of other videos we did, and
Yeah, this one definitely takes the cake. Oh my god.
I mean, I made him watch Bumblebee like a few years ago, and he told me, "Want to see Rise of the Beast with me?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And we did,
Oh man.
and also they got Optimus Prime right,
Yeah, they did him justice.
and we see his flaws. I mean, the good flaws.
Yeah, they made him a character and then make him this insulting piece of a character that even Peter Cullen and Gary Chalk simultaneously was disgusted by.
Oh yeah, definitely, and also seeing the Maximals on the big screen,
Oh, yeah.
especially Primal, maximize.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the action was fun, and Ron Perlman was actually a good Primal,
Oh yeah, just.
and also Peter Dinklage as Scourge.
Oh yeah, he was just great in his role.
Yeah, he's pretty much like the Terracon version of Steppenwolf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I say, and I really love that awesome climax. Like,
Yeah, just.
he was mine.
Like.
And also, Mirage was freaking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They actually made a character who was funny.
How do you do that?
He wasn't a racist caricature like the twins were. He was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, he was based off of The Mask and Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Hey, step away from my boy! Oh, stranger danger! Stranger danger!
I saw this with my brother. He fell in love with this movie.
So, okay, I think that's it.
Okay.
Okay, now on to another good one.
The Super Mario Brothers movie.
Number 5, and oh my god, I love the Mario movie, and
Yeah.
it was faithful to the games. It was not like the live action film. This,
Yeah, there's, and not to mention, Miyamoto was actually working with Illumination to make sure it wasn't some simple family film. He treated this like it was a big deal, and that they did, and the movie's grossing like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. It was that good.
yeah, we love its characters, and I actually love its story, and
It felt like a faithful adaptation of the games.
yeah, and also, we're all gonna miss Charles Martinet, who,
Yeah. Oh, he didn't die. He just retired as the character.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say, and it was more a passing of the torch to Chris Pratt as Mario, and I always forget Chris Pratt was voicing Mario in this.
Yeah, I kind of love that they didn't have his regular voice. It was more of a New Yorker voice. I mean, it's something new.
The accent wasn't too much. Too much. It's perfect. Wahoo! Yeah, yeah, and also Jack Black as Bowser. Holy fuck!
That is grade A casting.
And also that song of his. Peaches, 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 peaches! It's so ridiculous, but
Yeah,
who gives a fuck? I mean,
I think it was meant to be ridiculous.
and okay, settle down! That means you, Diddy Kong! Yeah, I couldn't resist.
Yeah.
Okay, that's... Okay, we love the Mario movie. Go check it out. Moving on to something that's a little more... has a darker side. Number 4.
Oppenheimer.
Or, you mean Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, tomato. Oh, man.
Oh, this was a very powerful film by Christopher Nolan.
And for lack of a better word, Shakespearean.
Yeah.
This was a character who created a weapon meant to fight the Nazis. However, it only ends in tragedy as the Nazis surrendered before the bomb could be used on them, and as consequence, its target, the Japan, and civilian areas no less.
Yeah.
And now he's haunted with the fact that enough of these weapons, if fired, could spell our doom.
Yeah, I have become death, the destroyer of worlds. And yeah, it was... Yeah, Nolan respected the history of Oppenheimer, of creating the bomb, and that could doom all the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this would sort of influence fictional stuff like the Terminator franchise,
Godzilla, I have no mouth and I must scream.
and Threads. Okay.
Yeah, fun fact, Jack had nightmares after seeing that movie.
You're a monster.
I know, right?
Yeah. So anyway, if you want to know histories of Oppenheimer, go see this film, and Nolan should be proud of what he accomplished.
All right, on to something a little less depressing and a little less fear-invoking.
Yeah, number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
This was a bittersweet way to end the saga.
This was probably, I think, is the best of the trilogy, and it mostly centers on Rocket, and oh my god, his backstory.
And the High Evolutionary was just a utterly fucking evil man.
Yeah, when he killed his his friend Lyra and screaming at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, he just taunted him. Guy's a fucking monster, and if any fan were to ever meet him, he would not even hesitate to take his head off.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah, and also, it has funny stuff, but it does take itself a bit serious that what Rocket is going through so much hell, and Quill is doing everything to support his friend. Even though Rocket never tells his friends, but
Yeah.
and during the climax, he actually saves a whole bunch of animals that were being experimented by this bastard.
But the film had a great way to end it, and there wasn't any cliffhanger secret ending. That's what I love about it so much.
Well, there were like post-credit scene, but they weren't setting up any.
Yeah, it was just something relaxing.
Yeah, it's a good thing Rocket got his happy ending with his new family and friends.
Yeah.
And how do you feel that Quill passed the torch to Rocket?
It was a great way to end it.
Yeah, so I just feel like I want to give Rocket a hug.
Yeah.
Even though he might not be a hugger.
If you want a tearjerker, this is for you.
No, I'm gonna no.
You're not hugging the camera.
I'm sorry. Okay. Number 2 is something that's not.
Not depressing. It does have some emotional moments, but it's not Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's Barbie.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
You don't need to do it.
Yeah, this movie took us by surprise.
Okay, I need to tell a story here. It was the year 2022. Jack told me the news, and since a lot of adaptations from Barbie weren't exactly the best, let's face it,
Yeah, those direct-to-video ones.
I sent Jack to the corner as punishment. With his defense being, I didn't make the movie. And then the internet was going around, and it was spreading like wildfire, and lo and behold, from what I heard, the film was really good.
Yeah, and
The film did not talk down.
this is not a kids movie.
It was thought-provoking, in a good way. It was cleverly written, and everything about this film is just perfect. It is perfection. This is one of the first films that I gave an A++.
Yeah.
This is the first one.
Yeah, and it was extremely funny.
Yeah,
Like-
if you could do that, you have done a good job.
Yeah, and Margot Robbie should be proud for being casted for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good that Margot Robbie is still going strong, where Ezra Miller ruined their lives with... Okay, that's enough.
Ruined their own life, but that's beside the point. Margot, I'm glad that this movie was... I'm actually kind of glad that this movie got made, because it's one of those movies that makes you think. If you can do that, I mean, well, I already said this before, so this is unscripted, so I do apologize in advance. Everything about this film is just perfection, and the people behind that movie should be proud.
Wow. And so I don't think there's anything else to say, but also Ryan Gosling was really good as Ken.
Oh yeah, just they were great in that movie.
So yeah, I think that's enough about Barbie. But now you're all wondering, what is number 1? It's not going to be any pun intended. This one is a film that's a part of it.
It's Godzilla -1.
Don't spoilers.
Well,
Yeah. Number 1 is Godzilla -1, and you're wondering, wait, why is this number 1? Well, it's not because of Godzilla. We love Godzilla, and the reason it's number 1.
well, it mostly has a new, interesting take on the original Godzilla story, where the original took place in 1954. This takes place after the Second World War, like right a few years after.
Yeah, it had a strong story, strong characters, and Godzilla being back to his original basics, and oh my god, great special effects.
Yeah, and this was done, and it was all done by one man who also directed this movie.
And wrote it.
Yeah, that is fucking dedication.
Yeah, and Yamazaki Takashi should be proud of what he did, and the film won like an Oscar of Best Visual Effects.
Yeah. And this is the first film to get an Oscar.
Yeah, a Godzilla.
That is high praise. A Godzilla movie.
Yeah,
Making its way to the Oscars.
I mean we're huge Godzilla fans, but holy cow!
That is history right there.
Yeah, and also we're gonna get into spoilers about its climax, and oh my god, it was amazing. Like all the ships surrounding Godzilla, trying to drown him, freeze him to death, but he's about to like.
Yeah. Until the plane basically hit Godzilla, but the pilot ejects. Yeah. That just.
Yeah, and Godzilla's head gets blown off and presumably dies, but we're gonna get back to where the protagonist survived. Like he managed to eject just in time, and because you said it had a hopeful message of trying to survive. Because this film is about survival from a very angry, pissed off monster.
Well, yeah, it's about survivor's guilt. And that's what I like about this film so goddamn much.
And at the end, after that, he found out his girlfriend is still alive. And they have a happy reunion. But if you notice one little shot of the woman's neck, there's black spots on it. I was like, oh no, she's infected from Godzilla's radiation.
Yep.
So she's not back for long. But it gets much worse. When we see a tiny piece of Godzilla,
It's regenerating.
and Godzilla is still alive. And I was like, crap.
Yeah.
And yeah, also Godzilla in this. Oh my god, Godzilla.
Yeah, he was terrifying in this.
Yeah, this is not like the MonsterVerse Godzilla was bringing balance. This Godzilla, on the other hand,
It's a straight up pissed off monster.
yeah, and we first see him when he's a theropod, his pre-mutation when he's in Oto Island. Yeah, Oto Island is back.
Yeah, and then we see him fully mutated, and he is just wrecking the shit of everybody.
And yeah, and I would say this would be like my favorite Godzilla design. Like it's a mixer of the MonsterVerse and Heisei.
Yeah.
And they use his 54 roar. And also that mushroom cloud sequence.
Oh yeah.
When
They
God-
made him a freaking powerhouse.
Yeah, it's when Godzilla's looking at it, it's almost reminding him of the day he was mutated from that explosion.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Oh, I love that.
Oh my god. And so yeah, that was Godzilla Minus One. It be our favorite Godzilla film since the original.
So,
And probably our new favorite film in general as well.
yeah.
So, I think that's about it. And we just passed over 40 minutes.
Yep.
So, no need for intermission.
So yeah, join us next time. We'll have a new batch of movie reviews coming up.
Yeah, and we're not going to say which films they are. We just like to keep it a little secret. So, we'll see you in the March for our first movie of this year.
All right.
So,
See you around, everybody.
and long live Godzilla, the king of the monsters, who blasts DC for the flush. I went there.
Take care, everybody.